I call mental illness the invisible disability because so often we don't realise in churches how many people are actually struggling. They might turn up at church and put on a happy mask, but behind that mask, when they get back home, they're struggling with anxiety, they're struggling with depression, they're struggling with other forms of mental illness. And so I think it's so important in churches to create a safe space, to have other people share stories of mental health conditions they're struggling with. I was diagnosed at the age of 18 with a condition called bipolar disorder, and you can be manic or tipping over into psychosis or experiencing the depths of depression, a very hard to treat type of depression. And it's a condition that there's no cure for, and it's managed through medication. As a young child, I was taught, and I really believed, that I was knit together in my mother's womb, that God had a plan for me from the moment I was conceived. And I really believed that. And so when I was diagnosed with a mental health condition, it really rocked my faith for a time. I could have thought, does this mean God no longer cares for me? Has He given me this condition as a punishment? And at that crossroads, I had to make a decision that no, I believe that God knew this ahead of time. He'd known every day of my life. I know that there's a lot of stigma and there can be a lot of shame around it. And for me, I don't want it to define my life, who I am or what I can do. And it's who I am. And it's allowed me to have empathy and to reach out to other women who've struggled with mental health conditions. The message that I would love to share with pastors and church leaders is that there is a culture of shame within churches around mental illness. It's being hidden. You know, 1/3 of Australians are currently struggling with anxiety. But where is that? Where is that being talked about in the church? We talk about stigma and how we need to break down the stigma, but that often starts with one person. It might be a church leader or a pastor getting up the front and saying, I struggle in this area. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If you're too ashamed to speak about it, what culture is that setting up in the church? It's really important that we create a safe space and that we follow up people who we know are struggling with disability. So many people in your churches are struggling that we need as churches to be equipped to reach out and be the communities that God called us to be.